Hey hustlers, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine, aka Jazz Hustles, and I am a 21-year-old Amazon seller. I started selling in the beginning of last year and I'm still going at it. So today is going to be a different video. It's not going to just be niched down to Amazon FBA, but I just wanted to talk about most of the mistakes that beginner entrepreneurs make when getting into a business. I touch base on really important topics, so you are going to want to watch into the end, and also comment down below other video recommendations that you would like to see from me. But without further ado, make sure to like it up, subscribe for more, and push that little bell so you're notified whenever I post. So first thing I want to touch base on is unrealistic goals. A lot of people go into different business models thinking that they're going to make a large amount of money in a short period of time. Most business models are not like that. And the ones that are usually are temporary or more riskier. Now with what I do, Amazon FBA, it's a volumes game. So the more money that you're going to be putting into the business, the more that you're going to eventually make. You may not make it as quick as possible, 1, 2, 3, like a lot of people show that they do, but you are eventually going to make a good amount of money if you're putting in a large amount of money. And the one thing people mainly forget when they are trying to make a lot of money with a new business is that you actually have to work hard. There's a lot of times where you'll see like influencers like me online and talk about how easy it is to start this hustle, start that hustle. To me, it is easy just because I am a little more experienced and more advanced. But when it comes to new beginner sellers that try and do what I do or any other business model, they end up seeing that it's really not that easy and it actually takes a lot of work. And that's for like every single business. So just keep that in mind. Now, this is a main one that I wanted to talk about because ever since I started teaching people and becoming an Amazon mentor, I know that this is something that a lot of people worry about for no reason. And I have no idea. I see people focus too much on the future. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, when people start a business, not just Amazon FBA, but any business at all, some people tend to worry about the LLC, taxes in the beginning of the new year, signing up for business credit, all that jazz. When in reality, you haven't even made money yet with the business. Why are you trying to stress yourself out even more, thinking about all these things that are going to come later on in life? Now, I get that you want to be aware and you want to know for sure exactly what you're doing from the get. But at the same time, you really do not have to stress yourself with forming an LLC. I guess for some businesses, you do have to have an LLC, it's like required, but like I'm going based off of like Amazon FBA just a little bit. They always stress about getting an LLC, utilizing business credit. Like eventually you will get there and you will start to learn about these things and not stress yourself out. If I can do it, then you can do it. I first started off doing Amazon FBA with my personal credit card. And I know a few people might not think that that's a good idea, but I didn't even know for sure if I wanted to do this business. I didn't know if it was going to be for me. And eventually when I surpassed 10K in monthly sales, my 5th month selling on Amazon, I decided to do all these things, get an LLC, utilize business credit, also get a reseller certificate. So in the beginning, you really do not have to stress yourself out with all those things. Now it's like case by case with other business models. All I know is that a lot of people stress about the back end of it in the beginning, when in reality, you're just stressing yourself out more. Like you really don't have to think about all those things and start already coming up with all these things in the beginning, right? So a lot of people ask me, like, do you need to have an LLC for Amazon FBA? You necessarily do not have to. If you're doing arbitrage business model with wholesale, you do have to have an LLC since you're working with distributors. But since I teach mainly arbitrage, a lot of people ask me that question and I tell them all the time, now, if you know for sure that you're going to stick with this business, then go ahead, get the LLC. But a lot of times people tell me all the time, I'm telling you, people, I cannot stress this enough. People tell me all the time that they had an LLC for this business and that business and this business and that business. And then they ask me, can they use their LLC for the Amazon business? I say it's probably best to separate your Amazon business with your past business. But just the fact that people have like LLC for here and there, and they quit like every single business is like unnecessary. And then when it comes to tax season, I don't know why a lot of people stress the taxes. A lot of people think it is scary just because most people are coming from jobs. A lot of people only have dealt with W-2s. I just had one of my mentees ask, how does taxes work? Do we get a W-2 from Amazon? I'm like, no. W-2s is for people who are working for someone. What we get is a 1099 form, and I'm starting to learn it a little more since I am pretty young and I haven't really done too much like taxes myself. I just turned 21. You do have to file your personal taxes and your business taxes. And a lot of people stress even starting a business because of the whole tax part, which is so unnecessary. I feel like it just stresses you out even more and it discourages you to not start a business. Like, I feel like if you were to not start a business just for the fact that you have to pay a lot in taxes and stuff like that, then that's like the dumbest reason ever. If you want to start a business, you are going to have to learn a little bit more about business tax, and it's really not that difficult. Coming from a person that is young and also does not even know too much about taxes, it's really not that difficult. You just have to learn it. And that's like every other skill set. You just have to learn it. Eventually you're going to understand it, and everything is just going to make so much sense in your brain. In the beginning of the new year, when you go through that whole year with Amazon, they're going to give you a 1099 form on your Seller Central under your tax reports or like tax document library on your Seller Central. Now, for other businesses, I'm not too sure how you will be able to get it, but you are going to, there's always going to be a form that is going to be for self-employed people. Who can you go to? You can literally go to a tax accountant, the same tax accountant that you've probably been working with, but at the same time, you are going to want to look around for different tax accountants because there's tax accountants that focus on mainly self-employed people, 1099 form people, or W-2 people. You don't have to worry about the whole tax part. You haven't even made money out of your business yet. You really do not have to worry about that end as of now. But eventually you are going to want to learn and get into it a little more. And there's a lot of articles, a lot of research that you can do, and a lot of people that you can talk to. So then you can get that knowledge and information. Now, another thing is not doing your research and just jumping into something quickly. Everyone tends to do that. I think whenever you plan on starting a new business, you do have to invest a lot of time in actually learning everything. There'll be many times where people come to me, they look into a few YouTube videos and they think they know it all already. And then eventually when they are in a predicament and they actually come to either me or another mentor or whoever, it's like they thought they knew what they were doing, but they actually, in reality, they do not. So there's a lot of stuff that comes in with Amazon FBA and other business models. Any business model that you try to do, there's gonna be a lot of information and you should know everything. Now I know it's kind of like hard, but that's why I always recommend investing in a coach or mentor course, an ebook, just so then it can speed up your learning process. Now, I'm not saying to rush your learning process. I'm just saying that you gotta make sure that you're investing time into it. It's probably best not to rush the learning process, but having like a mentor or purchasing a course or an ebook from a person that you actually trust online is the best way to advance in your learning process and not take too much time, and also not to forget about certain things. So I do make these YouTube videos for you guys, so then you guys can like kind of get a head start into your learning process, but you are definitely going to want to invest into a mentor, a coach, whatever. But if you're a faster learner, I know some people have made sales with just my YouTube videos, which is kind of crazy. If you are a slower learner and you just need your hand held, then link in the description. So another thing that I notice all the time is when people decide to start a business, then they have too much distractions in their life. And it is hard whenever you are trying to start a business and you're also trying to live a life with family and friends and this and that and relationships. You have to remember what you're doing it for, and it's not like a permanent thing. Eventually you can go out with your friends, you can do this, you can do that, but it's not a permanent thing. But you do have to like lock in for a few months to years, so then you can actually see the results, because there would be many times where people want to start the business and they put like half of their time into it just because they also want half their time, you know, living life and all that. And a lot of people say like, you know, we're young and you just want to just live life to the fullest. You never know when it's your last day on earth. I understand that, but at the same time, it's probably best to try putting your head down for a few months at least, so then you can actually see the results. And then eventually, once you see the results, you're gonna thank yourself that you did that before, and you're just gonna wanna go harder, because once you see the results, that's the main thing. A lot of people end up getting really discouraged because they're just not even putting that much time into it and they're not really seeing results. Because like I said in the beginning, for you to actually make the business work, you have to work hard. So if you are not putting that much all into your business, you're not going to see the results. And when you don't see the results, you quit and you end up going back into your previous life where you're just working for people and living life. You can do that, or you can try, keep trying, and then eventually once you see the results, everything's just gonna flow. You're gonna go through ups and you're gonna go through downs too, but everything is just gonna flow and you're gonna do good. I think the main thing that stopped people from starting that business is listening to people that is not in the same position that you want to be in. When I started Amazon FBA, when I started looking into Amazon FBA, I bought a course and I automatically, me and my mom were pretty close. So I decided to tell her, and she said, no, don't buy it. Because I told her it was like $1,000 and she thinks that I would get scammed and this and that. She discouraged me not to get it. Like, I was about to get it that night and I ended up not doing that because when I went downstairs, she was like, you're gonna get scammed, don't do this, don't do that. And usually, like, it's like my mom, I listen to her most of the time. So the fact that I basically listen to someone that is not in the position that I'm in is like, it's hard to not hear what they're saying. Like, it's hard to put their opinions into account because it's like, they're not in the position that I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom, she never really had a lot of money. She always worked for people. She never really had like that business mindset. I feel like I get a little bit more of my business mindset from my dad. So he's more of a hustler, but my mom, she's just like, I don't mind working for people. That's the type of person she is. Money is not everything, and that's fine. Everyone has different opinions about everything. Personally, me, I think money is a lot of things. Now, it's not everything, but it's a lot of things. And also, money does make people happy. That's one unpopular opinion. Money does make people happy. If you do come to someone for advice, maybe about entrepreneurship, businesses, and they're not a successful business owner, don't even go to them. Don't even have that conversation with them. I feel like you should, like, coming back to the last thing that I said, you should just keep your head down and just focus on what you think is right, I guess you would say. Because if you start getting other people's opinions that are not in the same position as you, you're gonna end up, that's literally gonna be your downfall. Because there's gonna be a lot of times where you go to people that you trust and that have helped you with so much advice in life, but at the same time, it's like they are not where you want to be. Now, if you're trying to get advice from entrepreneurs, make sure that they're actually successful or they have something going for themselves. Now, I'm not saying that my mom didn't have anything going for herself, but I'm just saying that she was not really a hustle type gal. But ever since, I started Amazon FBA and been successful with it, I'm pretty sure she regrets saying that to me. But I tell her all the time, remember that time when I was not about to buy that course? And she was like, yeah. So I think she has that mindset now of like, not working for people. Like, she doesn't work for, I guess you would say she works for me, but she's my assistant now. She doesn't work for anyone else. So I like that. But yeah, just focus on you. And if you want advice, if you want a community of people, go online. Like, that's the best thing. I think with social media these days, it's kind of like, social media is like crazy right now, but at the same time, if you just go and try and find those certain communities on social media, then you'll be good. That's why a lot of people need other people. Okay, now I think these 3 last ones niche down to Amazon FBA, not utilizing softwares for specifically Amazon FBA. I know there's other business models that also use softwares, but let's just talk about Amazon FBA for now. So not utilizing softwares, I know a lot of people that are really just trying to be profitable within their business first, and then they start investing in tools. That's a great mindset to have. It's a great mindset. But at the same time, if you're trying to look for profitable products that resell on Amazon and you're just looking at the sale price on Amazon and not including any softwares, not looking at the offer count, the keeper graph, all those things that I have to look for, there's no point even doing it because you're going to fail. I feel like with the softwares, I use SellerAmp and Keepa mainly. Those are really the only 2 softwares that you need for product analysts, and they're only $20 a month. And they also do have free trials, link in the description. But at the same time, like, you need to make sure you know what you're doing. And coming back to like one of the first statements that I made, that you need to know what you're doing. Don't just jump into something. A lot of people will come to me and they search up something on Amazon. Like, let's say, for instance, they found the Stanley Cup at Dick's Sporting Goods for $30 on sale. And on Amazon, it's going for $45, right? In my head, I already know it's not profitable because there's probably fees, there's this and that, and there's this and that. You're buying it for $30. There's a good amount of fees from Amazon, especially if you're doing FBA referral fees, FBA fees, storage fees, inbound shipping, inbound placement fees. Like, you need to make sure you're calculating all those things ahead of time. I can already tell that that's not going to be profitable just because I have been doing research, and I know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to sourcing for products. And that's why most of the products that I buy always end up selling. People will come to me and ask me, is this a good product to sell? And they just show me the Amazon listing and how much they're buying it for. I'm like, where's the softwares? You always have to utilize softwares so that you can calculate all the fees. Just because something is going higher on Amazon does not mean it's going to sell for you, does not mean you're profitable at it. A lot of people forget about all the fees. And Amazon is not, it's not just like, it's not like a eBay or something like that. Like if you were buying the Stanley from, I don't know, from Dick's Sporting Goods at $25, and on eBay, you can put your price anything you want to. Like there's way less fees with eBay or any other marketplace if you're doing off-rep or something like that. But it's like basically what we're doing, Amazon affiliate, we are reselling, but we're like reselling at a more technical level, I guess you would say, because we have to include the fees. We have to make sure that there's no violations for that product. And then it's a little scary. A lot of times people get discouraged as well, is because they say that like you can get sued from a certain brand and this and that. That can be true for some brands. But there's a software called IP Alerts by Seller Assistant, and also Seller also lets us know if there's any suspected IP violations with that brand. So you have to do all this research. A lot of people will just find a product and see it's going higher on Amazon and buy it and send it to Amazon when, let's say it does sell. They're in the negatives or they get hit with an IP violation or something like that. So you really have to utilize the softwares. And now the only main ones that I use is Seller and Keepa. And then the one that I use on the back end is Seller Board. Kind of piggybacking off of the last one that I was just talking about, I feel like a lot of times people invest in too much softwares. So don't get this mixed up. You should invest in softwares, but not too much softwares. I feel like a lot of beginners are all over the place trying to learn online for free, and they are going into many different influencers videos and YouTube channels, and they're all talking about different software that we use. I use Seller and Keepa, maybe someone else is using Helium 10, maybe someone is using Jungle Scout, and they end up investing in all the softwares when they all do like basically the same thing. So it's really just like, I feel like another incentive with having a mentor is that you can just focus on how they do it rather than 10 different influencers as a whole on YouTube or something like that. And as a beginner, it's a little confusing too, because it's like you don't know what softwares to invest in. And if you are learning from online for free, you're gonna just think that you need all of them. Like when I said, they all basically do the same thing. Now there's going to be certain softwares that are a little different. Maybe there's certain softwares that this person uses that I don't use, or maybe there's a software that I use and this person doesn't. So it's really confusing for beginners, and people will end up investing in way too much softwares. There has been a few of my mentees that have learned from YouTube, but then they were like, you know what, I just need to invest in a mentor. So they invested in me, and they are telling me like they have like different software. I'm like, you don't need that. End the subscription for that. Cancel the subscription for that. I only use Seller App and Keepa when it comes to that back end of the business. Focus on only one person. I know you want to get as much information, so you're looking at YouTube videos for every single person, many different influencers, but if you can just focus on mainly one person, then that would be the best thing for you. So then you cannot spend so much on softwares. I feel like another thing that people do is invest in pricey softwares that they really do not need in the beginning. There are certain softwares that I recommend, but I don't actually recommend as a beginner, because in the beginning, like I said, I only use Seller App and Keepa, and then Seller Board, right? But a lot of times there will be new softwares that pop up that I might have used or talked about, and then beginners automatically start investing into every single software I talk about. So I feel like there's certain softwares that are more a necessity than a luxury, and vice versa. I feel like there's other softwares that are more pricier that are more of a luxury rather than a necessity. So necessity, Seller App, Keepa, Seller Board. That's what I would say. Not keeping up with listings. Now, a lot of times, this going back to not doing your research. A lot of times people will find a profitable product, do all the research that they can, send it to Amazon, just wait for it to sell. Now with Amazon, like the market fluctuates all the time. You're competing against many other sellers every single day. So you have to make sure that you're pricing competitively. You have to make sure that you're looking into the listing every day or every other day. Now, going back to the softwares, when you do this in the beginning, it's good to just do it manually. But eventually it's gonna get overwhelming and you're gonna have a lot of different products that you need to reprice accordingly, like every day or every other day. Eventually there's a software for that you can invest in. And the software that I use is BQ, it's a repricing tool. So it keeps me competitive within the market. And a lot of people, a lot of times, will be like, what if it puts it at a price that I'm not profitable at? In the settings, you can put the minimum cost of the product that you want it to be and the maximum cost. So you don't really have to worry about that. But a lot of people get BQ in the beginning when I feel like they don't really need to, just because you don't even have any products in your store. You only have 1 or 2 products in your store, and repricing tools are pretty pricey. So in the beginning, you are gonna wanna manually reprice your own. And then eventually when you have like at least 20 to 25 active listings, you are gonna wanna look into a more luxury type software that can help you within your business. Okay, well, I think that's enough. I talked a lot today, but I wanted to make this video because I feel like a lot of you guys are having struggles, especially with people who are starting with a new business and they've never had a business before. And these are things I tend to see with a lot of people that come to me. So I just wanted to explain this video. If you guys want more videos like this, make sure to comment down below, more like variety of different videos similar to this. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to follow my Instagram and my TikTok, where I post on those every single day. Please make sure to not get scammed with any of those fake scam accounts out there. There was a lady yesterday who commented on my real post saying that I scammed her for $610, and I blocked her on WhatsApp. And I'm like, who are you, lady? Like, I don't even know who you are. And she came in my comments and just was raging. She's a scammer, guys. She scams. I'm like, girl. So please be careful. I tried messaging her. Well, I didn't message her because I don't message people on TikTok, and I will never open my messages on TikTok because that's where the scammers get you. A lot of people, there's a lot of fake scam accounts of me. Mine is JASHUSTLES for every social media platform. That's it. There's no underscore, there's no period, there's no extra S or something like that. Like, I feel like that really annoyed me. It really ticked me off yesterday, because the fact that I saw that comment 17 hours after it was posted, that means a lot of other people saw this same comment and now probably think I'm a scammer. Like, that's kind of really annoying. There was like another person that put like, wow, and she actually believed her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just saying this now. That's why I need to keep up with my comments. There's a lot of comments that I get every day. So I need to make sure to keep up with my comments, because these scammers have been actually going crazy, and I try to report them every single day, and I tell people to report them as well, but there's literally nothing I can do. I don't even know if I can get like a verified badge on Jazz Hustle's TikTok, but the fact that like she thinks I scammed her, and she was actually like raging in the comments on like every single post, and I see that like after the fact was kind of really annoying and kind of ticked me off. But I told her to DM me on my Instagram so then we can get everything situated. I didn't delete the comments just because I want people to see that this can actually happen to you if you're not actually aware of the accounts. If you're not aware, if you think you're talking to me, make sure you're actually talking to me. If you don't do your due diligence and trying to see if you're actually talking to the real person, then it's really not my fault. But like, there's literally nothing I can do. But I just wanted to rant about that because that just happened yesterday. It's fresh, and I'm kind of still ticked off about that. But hopefully she sees this video. Hopefully you can come and contact me. Hopefully you can dispute the charge of whoever. But if anyone ever DMs you, first of all, let me just tell you guys, I don't DM anyone unless you go on my Instagram and you put like a word. Like, sometimes I'll put, if you want to learn more, comment AMZ, and I'll DM you. That's when I'll DM you. But I don't ever ask people for money or DM them first, okay? That's automatic. My main Instagram, that's the one that I mainly use, but I still post on TikTok, and all these fake TikTok bot accounts are scamming people. And that's only one lady, but that's the lady that commented. But there's many others that have told me that they got scammed, and I'm just like, this is like so annoying. It's like so annoying. But just make sure, be safe out there, guys. Just wanted to let you guys know of that. So everything you'll find in the description, but I do have a complete Amazon FBA guide, which is a step-by-step rundown of the Amazon business model. You can find that link in the description. If you want, you can actually get a copy today for $31 using Affirm, Afterpay, or Klarna. And then also, if you want an extra community to help you along your journey, and we also do weekly group Zoom calls, as well as post 15 to 30 new profitable leads every single day, then you can look into my Discord community. And if you want extra help and you want that one-on-one feel, then I do have the Hustlers Academy also linked in the description. You'll just have to apply down below, and you can also book a call with my assistant or my partner, so then we can kind of show you exactly what you'll be receiving in the Hustlers Academy before you invest in us. So that's pretty much it. Basically, what comes with the Hustlers Academy is lifetime access to the Discord, also a 15+ hour course curriculum that goes over every single thing step by step, as well as unlimited coaching calls with me and my partner. So that is what you'll be receiving. And if you guys want to know more about that, just go into the link in the description or DM me on Instagram. Please only DM me on Instagram. I don't DM people on TikTok. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys real soon. Peace.